Namaste and hi friends, it's Parvati here with Visionary Veda, bringing you your Vedic astrology full moon report for this last full moon of the year happening on December 18th or 19th, 2021. In this Vedic astrology forecast, I will go over the energies at play for this full moon, including the Nakshatra of the full moon, which is the fixed stars in the zodiac directly tied to the constellations. In Vedic astrology, the nakshatras or the fixed stars play a very important role. And I will also cover the other planetary alignments and placements that are supporting this full moon with their energies. So luckily for all of us, and this is a very gentle full moon, very gentle and illuminating full moon. And that being said, let's go ahead and get started, okay? So this full moon happening on the 18th or 19th, depending on where you are in this big, beautiful world, is happening in the Vedic constellation of Gemini, in the nakshatra of Mrigashira. Mrigashira nakshatra is known to be a very gentle nakshatra. It is symbolized by the deer, actually a deer's head. And it is also called the seeking star or the searching star. The energies behind it is that of a gentle creature that is seeking or searching something, something that nourishes it, or seeking a path forward, or seeking pleasure in a garden. You know, the forest, the nature, the nourishment we get from the nature, from beautiful gardens, from lush forests, from the gentle energies of a deer are highlighted during this full moon. Mrigashira nakshatra is also lorded planetarily by the planet Mars, so it's propelling things forward. And it's also lorded by a deity, and the deity is known as Soma. Now, Soma in many cases is known to be synonymous with the moon, but it's not exactly the moon. It is connected to the moon, right? And it's known to be, Soma is known to be this magical, mystical elixir that the rishis or the higher evolved beings would drink to give them insight, to give them pleasure, to give them nourishment, to give them knowledge, but most of all to give them immortality, right? So it was this somatic, some people claim it to be an elixir that helped the rishis to attain divine knowledge and divine wisdom. So this is going to be the energy of this full moon. The deer in the Vedic philosophy, if we're wanting to talk about the chakras is the heart chakra, right? So this full moon will lend its energies for us to be able to look inside of our heart and see what it is that we need to feel good, to feel full, to feel nourished within ourselves. You know, it can manifest in a few ways, you know, and again, depending on the guna through which we're operating. Many of us will look outward, will seek outward what it is that we need to feel good, what it is that we need to nourish ourselves, where it is we need to go, what direction do we need to go in. Since the planetary ruler of this nakshatra is Mars, it's going to be a call to action. Now, Mars has been in Scorpio, in sidereal Scorpio, and it has just conjoined a few days ago with the graha of Ketu, which is things from our past that we've brought along with us from our past lives, or even our past, but usually it connotates ancestral lineages and past life karmas, right? So things can come up during this full moon that can be rather surprising. Old desires that we weren't even aware of that were within us might start to sprout. We might start to get the first inklings of different things, or different a different career we want, or a different way of life that we want, or a different way to live that we want, that's coming up, is being unearthed from our subconscious and being shown to us in this, during this full moon. The healing aspect with the Soma, the wanting to fulfill something or feel fulfilled within ourselves, is sort of this energy. It is this energy, and it's more the seeking of this. Now, like I said before, some people will seek it outwardly, but most of us are going to start to realize that what we seek is already within us. So it's going to be more of a process of how can we bring that out? What path do we need to take to bring these feelings of fulfillment, of happiness into our lives, to integrate it into our lives, so it just doesn't stay buried within our hearts, but we're actually actualizing it in the world. During a day, I think a day after this full moon, and the planet Venus, which also symbolizes feeling good, love, relationships, our inner well-being, that is going to be stationing retrograde. So Venus is already slowing down, and it's getting ready to appear like it's stopping in the sky, and then start moving backwards the day after this full moon. Now, Venus has been in the sidereal sign of Capricorn. So we might have been feeling restrictions in our relationships. We might be feeling a bit stifled in our relationships, because Capricorn, even though Saturn and Venus are friends, Capricorn can be a very rigid kind of a sign, or a very stubborn sign, or very strict boundaries, right? Strict definitions. And we're going to be going over all of this and reevaluating this and seeing how our relationships, how we can improve them, and what we can do to feel better in them, bring more love in there, express more love, feel better in it, right? Feel more fulfilled in them. Now, as Venus goes backwards and is stationing, then moving backwards, we're going to be reviewing all of these things. But the energy of this moon is really going to highlight and give us insights and awareness into what it is we need in order to feel fulfilled in these relationships. So most times, our relationships with others is a reflection of our relationship within ourselves. And as we all know, when we start to love ourselves and feel fulfilled within ourselves, then our relationships improve. So it's going to be a huge review within us, but in a very gentle way, as to what we need to give ourselves, or what we need to bring out of ourselves that makes us happier, more content, makes us a force of love in this world, right? It all starts with you, and this full moon is going to shine that awareness upon you. The rays of this full moon are going to be very nourishing. The rays of this full moon are going to contain the Soma, or the Amrit, or that nectar of nourishment, of life, of pleasure, of immortality. So it's also a really good full moon to cleanse your crystals, to cleanse any kind of things that you use for your own divination and your own spiritual work, the rays of this full moon will really help to imbue these things with that nectar. Now, since Mars is connected with Ketu a few days ago, we are all collectively moving into what's called a Kala Sarpa yoga. All right, I'll talk more about this in another one of my videos, but I just wanted to bring this up so that you're aware of it. A Kala Sarpa yoga, Kala is time and Sarpa is a serpent, okay? Is when all the planets are on one side of the nodes. So you've got Rahu and Ketu and all the planets are on one side. This full moon is going to be outside the Kala Sarpa yoga. So it's really going to be powerful. We're really going to be able to see our way and what we need to better our lives in the way of inner fulfillment, inner love, inner peace, inner harmony, because it's outside the grips of the serpent. The moon moves really fast, right? So it's going to move back inside the Kala Sarpa yoga. This yoga happened, it started a few days ago when Mars conjuncted Ketu, and now it's moved to the other side of Ketu. This yoga is going to stay, and the moon is going to break it every month, but we're going to feel this sort of pressure to like go in and keep ourselves contained inward and make transformational changes within ourselves, within the belly of this serpent, until April, when Mercury or Venus, I think it's Mercury, breaks the Kala Sarpa yoga, and we'll be out of it for another 6 months or so in 2022. But I'll talk more about that in another video. I don't want to digress. I just really wanted to talk about that because this moon being outside, this full moon being outside this yoga and this Kala Sarpa yoga just happening, it's showing us, it's giving us the opportunity to see what are our deepest desires and our fulfillment. And it's already there. This deer that is seeking, that is searching, that is roaming through the forest, looking for a path, seeking this beauty from the garden, seeking this fragrance, doesn't realize that it's coming from within itself. And so may this full moon really illuminate within you what it is that you already have and show you the path as to how to bring it forth and share it with the world. So that is going to do it for me today on this beautiful full moon evening. I wish all of you out there a very happy and illuminating and healing and gentle full moon. If you're feeling any kind of anxiety, because I know also with this full moon, because it is in Gemini, right? There can be feelings of anxiety, which is the flip side of excitement. Just know that Mrigashira is also a very curious nakshatra. So play with it. Play with different options and scenarios. You know, if you're not sure of the path forward, look at the options, try them on, feel what they feel like in your heart, and you will make the right choice. Things will become clear to you. So don't worry. Sometimes that anxiety just needs to be channeled into action or some sort of movement forward. Just know that you're worthy of it. You're worthy of feeling good. You're worthy of having that Soma and feeling fulfilled within yourself. Okay, so if you'd like more insight into your own chart and where these energies are going to be affecting you, especially moving forward into the new year, please feel free to schedule a Vedic astrology reading with me and contact me at the email below, visionaryveda@gmail.com. Until then, my friends, happy full moon, enjoy the life, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.